Hello, everybody. Live from Indiana. Technically live from the McDonald's parking lot in Indiana. Not far from Metamora. Hopefully everybody jumps in here. Looks like we got one viewer. It's Kyle Jones, live from New Hampshire. Mr. Coffee, Mr. Wayne Heights, how's everybody? So we are preparing ourselves. I'm going to swing this over so I can see the chat over here. The Tradesman, great to have you in here, right above Elkhart. Awesome. Hey, Pete. So, pardon my throat. I've just about lost my voice this week, so it'll be quite interesting. Skinner Farms, where in Indiana? Well, currently I'm in Brookville, Indiana, which is not far from Metamora. Hey, Dana Maggiore and Jeff Killian. Not far from Metamora, an hour south of Indy. There you go. So I'm in Brookville. We're setting up in Metamora, Indiana for a festival called Canal Days. There's Eric Baldridge. Good to see you and good to have met you in person. Let me know if it's kind of too loud with the traffic and everything. I'm just kind of sitting in the parking lot here trying to get but sitting in the parking lot trying to get enough signal to put together a live stream to chat with you guys. If it's too noisy, let me know. I'll figure something out. And I missed somebody there. Maybe Metamora. Yeah, that would be great. If you're an hour south of Indy, you're probably not far from Metamora or Brookville, either one. But if you look, if we go down to Metamora, which is only 8 miles from here, like right now, I am full bars, 5G, sitting here, no problem. 8 miles that way, absolutely, positively no signal and no structure in the little village with Wi-Fi. So, really not much option. Eli is back at home. He's actually doing some chores around the farm and getting ready to do, hey Justin, getting ready to do some foraging to bring to this event in the morning. He'll be joining me in the morning. There's Hank in Henry Leslie, Vermont. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot like Maine. But, so anyway, we're here in the parking lot. This festival is a really neat place. Metamora is a really kind of interesting place. And it's got a great festival that they put on once a year. Gosh, I'm sorry. The Whitewater Canal, which runs parallel to the Whitewater River in Indiana. It was a huge transport line, basically from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. And this town of little village of Metamora basically is a snapshot. It's frozen, frozen in time. Give or take a few things. And up until recently, actually still ran the canal boat. They have since dry docked the boat, and I think they're planning on repairing it to put it back in. Used to be able to take tours down to the first lock and come back, and it would be pulled by a horse or a set of mules, something like that. Really kind of interesting. And it's kind of stuck in the 1840s, somewhere along that line. Well, that's cool. Skinner Farms, hour and a half. There's going to be tens of thousands of people in this little village over the weekend. And it just so happens that a very dear friend of mine from college, well, John, come on over. A very dear friend of mine from college, she and her husband live in Metamora and actually have a couple businesses in Metamora. She has kind of a bed and breakfast and a live music venue at her place. So they had not had a blacksmith for about 5 years at the festival. So last year we had a conversation with them and said, you know, we'd be more than happy to come and demonstrate and sell. So we set up on one of their properties and did our demonstration and stuff. So it's really cool, really kind of neat. We did a pretty good bit of sale last year. Got to do some great demonstration, meet some great folks. And then there's this place in Metamora called the Village Smithy, and or the Village Smith, and the guy that owns it, his last name is Smith, and he likes to do local handmade arts and crafts in his store, leatherwork, carving. I got him some blacksmithing stuff and some other handmade stuff, hats and things like that. So he calls me up about 2 weeks after the show last year. Poof, you're a knife. That's right. So he calls me up about 2 weeks after the show last year, and he says, "Hey, would you be interested in putting some of your stuff in my shop?" And I said, "Sure, I'll bring some of the stuff down." And we hadn't even unpacked all our merchandise yet, so we put it in the car. Michelle and I did, and we went down to Metamora. Got to see our friends, and I opened up the trunk and started to get everything out. He's like, yeah, I've seen all your stuff. How much for all of it? So everything we had made that we had not sold at the Canal days, he said, give me a wholesale price, a full price on everything. And so I sat down and went through and inventoried everything, gave him the number, and he wrote me a check. And I was like, yes, no, which meant I didn't have any product on hand after that day. I mean, we sold everything, and it was a huge sale for us, but it kind of, yeah, you know, if you wanted to come put some of your paintings up, you can put them in my booth if you want, buddy. Come on down. I don't care. So we've got a canopy up, and we set up to demonstrate and sell. And so I mean, we're looking forward to it. It's a great event. It's probably our biggest sale event of the year, and probably more people will see us blacksmithing than any other part of the year. And it's not too terribly far away. It's about an hour and 45 minutes or so from the house. So it's not, terrible distance away. The only issue, and we're actually camping there. The only issue was I had to take the camper, set it, and then come back and get the trailer, load it all up, and take it down. So it's been 2 trips, but not too terribly bad. Now, the downside the downside to this is last year I'm going to admit it. I'm going to break down, and I'm going to admit I made a sharp pointy thing for the show last year. And actually, I think I made 2. The friend of mine, oh, that's really cool, Kyle. So I made a sharp pointy thing, 2 of them. One of them was actually for my friend. She's a good redneck girl, and so we negotiated booth price for sharp pointy thing price. So I kind of helped out on that. And within 45 minutes of being there, the sharp pointy thing sold. And I put a stupid price on it because I'm not a bladesmith. I don't want to make blades. I don't really, I'm not huge into making blades. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. It's just far enough away. I didn't see what you said there, John. Howard Hughes thing. I didn't catch all that, but I saw Howard Hughes. So anyway, 45 minutes after the whole thing started, I had this one knife, sharp pointy thing, and put a stupid price on it. Dude picked it up. Here you go. Here's cash. I went, all right. Well, that's just great. Hi, Rebecca. No, I have not gotten my hat yet. That's correct. And sorry for the bifocal thing. I just got to do it. It's just barely out of view here. So the only reason I had one of the sharp pointy things there was because everybody, you guys know, make me a knife, make me a sword. Poof, you're a knife, you're a sword. Hi, Jeff Woodring. So I was out of knives. I'm out of sharp pointy things. Oh no. I'm sorry, Roy. I'm sorry. Do what sells. That's right. So I just, okay, I had a couple railroad spikes there and people kept asking me, so I made just past the fingertips. That's right. So I had a couple railroad spikes there and I made a couple cheesy generic railroad spike pointy things to put them out on the table. And I put an absolutely stupid price on a mediocre at best railroad spike knife. And we all know what railroad spike knives are. And I was telling people, look, there's no guarantee on the metal, the edge, anything about this knife. And I put a stupid price on them. And I mean stupid. 45 minutes later, both of those are gone. So in about 2 hours, I had 4 sharp pointy things and they all sold. And again, this is not a boast or a brag on my part because I'm not a bladesmith. I don't even necessarily like making them, and I didn't really want to make them. And I had some what I call ornamental stuff that I was kind of proud of. It was okay. And I, put a reasonable price on that stuff, really reasonable price. And people pick it up and go, how much? It's like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's like Roy just said, do what sells, make what sells. So I already had requests from a couple people who were there last year for some sharp pointy things. So we made 5 ahead of time. I'm interested to see what will happen this year. One of them, again, will probably go to our friend in negotiation for space, which is worth it to me. Something she wants, helps me out. So yeah, we've got other product. We've got pretty decent amount of other product. Eli's at home making more right now. Of some blanks that we got from Christ-Centered Ironworks, and I think you can find those blanks at www.blacksmithingblanks.com. I think that's where you can find them, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got some of those that are being finished up. I think you just got to put the finish on them and drill a hole for like some of the ornaments and a couple other things. And we brought some stuff with us so we can demonstrate and make some of those things. So Yepers. I thought I got it right. Yeah, so make it awesome. Hey Tim, Tiny Tim Posey. So anyway, we're here in Indiana. I'm here in Indiana. Eli will be here tomorrow. Getting ready for a big show. And if I'm correct, you wanted your hat to be Carolina blue. That is correct. That is correct. Go Heels. And so anyway, that's kind of the plan. I'm kind of excited to be here. It's been looking forward to this for some time. We had a couple other shows this year that, to be honest with you, my health has not permitted me to do. And just the farm has been all-consuming with farm and church. It's just kind of taken my whole summer away. We have 1 or 2 more shows in sales yet this year. One is a Christmas show, and another one is another holiday show. So that's the reason why we just looked last night. We were working in the shop, and we hadn't done a hey Jason and Il Canerum in neighboring state. I am. So we hadn't done a forging live stream since September the 15th. We had one where things were just crazy. We talked about that. And then we had one where we didn't have any internet service. at our last live stream. So it's been a few weeks since we've done a forging live stream, and I wanted to do a forging live stream tonight, but there's literally zero any kind of service in the little village of Metamora. I mean, blank, nada. You can't even go up on the hill and rub your belly and pat your head and hold a piece of aluminum foil in the air and get anything. It's nothing. Like I said, go 8 miles, you got full 5G, 5 bars, rocking and rolling. So I just came into town and I had to get some other stuff, cough drops, things like that are kind of going to help me over the weekend. 3 Christmas shows to do in November. That is fantastic, Kyle Jones. I'm so glad to hear that. So anyway, that's kind of the plan. We've had just a few people actually send us some messages or give us some hints as to kind of what they thought for our channel name, some change to the channel as far as the name goes, and really just because we have kind of altered the content. No, not altered. We've added to the content on the channel. We saw reasonable success from some of the stuff we were doing on the farm. Eli's shed to house is like 10 times bigger than any video we've ever done. And we've got one coming up on doing the electric in it. So we started talking about changing the channel name because it's not really just Bar Run Forge anymore. And we've had all kinds of, you guys are hilarious, the Bar Run Forge and Farm and Family and Faith and a bunch of other ones. So it was like bar, So you got that, but so we've also, like this Tuesday we had a video, Bar Run Family Life. Bar Run Life is one that came out, and we've gotten back to, like this Tuesday we had a video come out about the bulk feed system for the chickens. The plan is to have a video out for this coming Tuesday, and then you'll have Tuesday forging videos, you'll have Tuesday farming videos, you'll have Tuesday construction videos, you'll have Tuesday tech videos. And so the hope is every Tuesday that be Tuesday a video, Thursday a live, and then we can throw some stuff in here and there and add some content. We really are hoping, and I know I guess maybe everybody does, really are kind of hoping that the channel can take off and really kind of get going. Hey Kevin from Trail Dust 55, got 100 birdhouses and 100 gnomes to make for a couple church. That's really cool. Gotta love Christmas season, that's right. So, like I said, we're seeing some moderate growth in the channel, and some of it, we've looked at some of the analytics. Really like for somebody to kind of give us another, hey Raquel from Cottonwood Ranch, to give us kind of another bump or a hit to help us out, to show us, okay, here's some things you can do with the channel. Yeah, we're extremely busy, but it's one of those things that would be really nice for not only the channel but the farm, the family, to get a boost, to kind of help out. And I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It's really one of those, yeah, it all takes time, but we've been at it a little over 2.5 years on the channel. We're at about 2,300 subs, and that that first 1,000 always seems to be a little bit of a battle for some, and others it just seems to fly by. We struggle with the idea that the content, you could make crazy content. Try hot tub live stream, Steve Popper. Yeah, like that's it right there. You could try all kinds of crazy stuff that gets views, but it's not us. And we like to include gilding tonight. Nice. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. So yeah, that's kind of what we were hoping for. We enjoy doing it, and kind of, I hate to say, make it worth our while. And we'll continue to do it. I mean, the live streams, we've tried to be consistent with those. We did miss the one. All right, Jason, you take care, man. Excuse me. Emerald and Jade. So yeah, I mean, we want to look out for other content that we can provide. That again is us. We don't want to go off some crazy bit that has nothing to do with us. We want to share. Not that it sounds, anyway. We want to share kind of our experiences without giving the impression that our experiences are better than anybody else's, because got a crazy video coming out up this weekend. Got a bit of humor in it. I don't believe that. Just remember it was on the Thomas Goody Moot. Yep. Yeah, I mean, hey, Thomas. Hey, Darren. Yeah, Thomas is a hoot, man. I mean, he's he's a cut up all the time. Man, Thomas is such a good dude, man. I love that guy. And if you ever need somebody to work, hey, Corey Shire, if you ever need somebody to work at a blistering pace, Thomas Goodymoot is your dude. He is the dude, man. He can. He's not afraid at all. Roy has humor. What? Yeah, I'm not going to. It's not going to be anything other than more of what is us, We try to, we do the forging stuff and some of the other stuff, and we'll try to add biblical. It's true, man. And Roy, you and I've worked together at times, and both of us can crank it up. But man, he just, when I'm around Thomas, I have to tell him sometimes, it's okay, buddy. It's all right. It's okay. But he can do it, man. He can do it. Yeah, no, we're not going to get away from who we are, and we try to put in the biblical principles in some of our videos and how we go about what we do. And I'm not going to shy away from that. I had an individual who was a friend of mine. Like we have our T-shirts this weekend at the show. Last year, we sold about as many T-shirts as we did blacksmith items. It was like bar run forged T-shirts, and people were just like snatching them up. Okay, well, if you want to buy them, let it rip. That's what they're there for. But it was kind of a crazy thing. Good deal, Darren. So, but I had this friend who said, you know what? If you didn't have scripture on the back of your shirt, I'd buy one right now. My first instinct was, well, dude, that's kind of who we are. Not kind of, it is who we are. And okay, whatever. So we actually did just make a logo shirt and showed it. Maybe buy one. And I was like, okay, well, all right. Whatever. We even got logo sweatshirts. I didn't buy one of those either. But it is what it is. I mean, we're not going to change any of that. We're not compromising on that part. But this little town outside of Metamora, Brookville, it's not too far from Brookville Lake, which Makes sense. It feeds into the Whitewater River, and kind of a nice lake. It's a really neat place, and Brookville, Indiana, is like everywhere Midwest. I mean, it is small town USA to a T, absolutely to a T. That's true. That's true. That is true, Darren. So, yeah, this little town, it's great. I mean, the Mexican restaurant is right across the street. Good Mexican food, really good Mexican food. Yeah, right on, Darren. That's good stuff. So, they got the Mexican place. There's a breakfast place, a kind of a diner downtown. Phenomenal. There's a dairy whip, whatever you want to call it, back that way. It's super good. And so we're going to hit some of those, and we're going to be around fair food all weekend, festival food, so probably going to gain weight. Now, the other thing that's going on this weekend, it just so happened, weekends are tough for me to go do stuff. That's why I don't do a lot of the festivals and fairs and stuff like that, because they're usually on the weekends. And I'm kind of spoken for on Sunday mornings. Not kind of, I am spoken for. I preach every Sunday. So this Sunday, I'll be preaching right over there at the Brookville Church of Christ. And that's where my friend and her family go to church. And I said, well, I'm going to be in the area. They're fighting to find a minister, a full-time minister. And I said, well, I'm going to be in the area. Why don't I just come preach and sing? And so he was like, great, you're already going to be here. You guys are going to come worship with us anyway. We need somebody to preach. Why don't you preach for us? So, spoken for, spoken spot. Nice. So anyway, I get to go preach and sing and blacksmith and hang out with friends and see a cool town and maybe make some money all in the same weekend. So good. It's going to be good. I'm excited about the weekend, and I'm very tired. I've pushed hard. We had a long weekend with church events, and I'm still trying to get the farm stuff ready for harvest. We're still not 100% there, but we're getting close. The tradesmen praise the Most High. So nice. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Love small town USA. I do too, man. I absolutely love small town USA. I grew up on the farm. I like money. I grew up on a farm. The only time I've really ever lived in a quote unquote city was doing my internship down in Mobile, Alabama at a church. Drove me nuts. It was crazy. And then when we were at Kentucky Christian University, we lived in Grayson, but it was on campus, so it was a little bit different. But it was an apartment, and just, I was, couldn't stand it. So I like small towns. Right on, Tim. You got that right. Yeah, I like small towns, and I like small towns to visit. I like to visit small towns. I don't like to be in small towns and live in small towns. Mountain Home Forge, howdy. How are you? Hello, everyone. Terry, I'm guessing, or Mike. MT Homestead says, hi, Troy. Again, kind of a impromptu, not impromptu, but really the only option live stream this evening. I'm not sure I understand that one, Mike or Terry. It's Terry. Hey, Terry. Both watching, eating dinner. Fantastic. And I'm sure it's a terrible dinner, because Terry can't cook for nothing. I'm telling you what, just terrible. Isn't that right, Mike? Mike's just withering away to nothing because Terry won't feed him. Possum sausage, hello. Wait a minute, I'm from Indiana. Well, I'm in Indiana. Yeah, if I had to drive into the city every day, I don't know whether they would survive or I would survive. I don't know. Hey, Bobby, Robert Lonis says, hey guys, I can't do the city. Every once in a while, like we'll go watch a Reds game or something like that. We'll go into Cincinnati, and it's kind of a deal. Like, okay, get me in there, do the thing, get me out. I don't want to be in the city. One of the reasons, not Boston, definitely not Boston. Oh my gosh, I shiver at the thought. Danimals, hey Dan. Did I win yet? Celebrating 4 weeks without tobacco, 3 weeks without nicotine. That's great. Well, praise the Lord for that. I had a friend of mine who did Skull. I think it was Copenhagen, actually. But anyway, he dipped. And every day at 10 o'clock, he kept 2 cans in his back pocket. Every day at 10 o'clock, he would switch out to the new can. He had it timed out. He'd take that last dip, throw that one away, and start in on the... Yeah, you got to get some chili, that's for sure. But, hey, Corey. But he was 2 cans a day. Just cycle through it every day. And he stopped. And the money he saved alone, he bought a Harley. Brand new Harley with the money he was saving from the amount of money he was spending on tobacco products. So, yeah, I mean, there's several benefits to not doing it. So, what else was I going to bring up? There will be a good deal of harvest and farm videos coming up very, very soon. Yeah, visit the cities, go home. That's it. we will, when we get into harvest, it will be full blast. Now, the good thing about it is we are a small enough farm that we can probably do bean harvest in about 2 days, and we can do corn harvest in about 2 days, probably. So, but I mean, it's hot and heavy. I mean, it just goes really strong, really fast, and it's hectic, and you hope nothing breaks down. If things break down, then you're further behind. And it's a timing thing. I mean, like we put out winter wheat. So there's a deadline for getting wheat out, that if you don't get it out by the time that goes, then you can't get insured on that crop. No, we haven't started on harvest yet. I have corn that I could probably run, but it would probably have to go in the bin because it's a little too wet for it to be good corn to go to the yard. They'll accept it, but I don't want to send it that way. I get docked for moisture, so we'd lose money. And it stinks because it's been dry the last few weeks, but it's helping dry down everything. But that's kind of how it goes. I mean, we got out a little bit late. We had a normal season length of crop that was supposed to go out, and we got lots and lots and lots of rain this year, so the normal growing season wasn't the normal growing season. But we got to meet that deadline. We got to get there. As I said, the good thing is, if in a week everything is dried down and good to go, or a week and a half, we can get out in the field, and in a few days we're done. And then I can get back out, plant the wheat, and then we're set for the winter and on beyond. Right, I did some hand shelling of some corn 4 days ago, and hand shelling I got at about 27, 28%. I did have one little batch, it was 30 moisture. So, all right, Darren, take care, buddy. Pack a day for 30 years, man, oh man. So I did some hand shelling, came in at about 27, 28%. You add a little bit for hand shelling if you're going to do a whole field, but you know, again, that was, it may have been about a week ago. So it's drier now because we haven't had any rain. But Dana, take care, buddy. God bless you, man. Problem I have right now is the combine that has the corn head won't start, like has no juice whatsoever. So the combine guy is supposed to come check it out. 26 down to 21, Friends down in Lafayette 23%. Yeah, need 18%. That's pretty much ideal for corn. So we'll see. It's probably in the lower 20s right now that I could probably run. Yeah, same here. I mean, we had a little sprinkle here and there, but nothing of any significance. Like I said, it's good and bad. The beans are Mr. Brittinghammer himself. How are you? How are you? So the beans can get done. There's still green leaves out there and not completely dry yet. The pods aren't cracking. Again, I'm not as concerned about the beans in that particular area. Like, you know, if the beans dry down in the next couple weeks, I can get in there, get it done, and then drill the wheat in right behind it. Yeah, there's that debate. I mean, I've already got it contracted. You know, I've already got it contracted for a certain price that will, you know, help tremendously. But if I get that contracted at that price and don't, you know, I get a bunch of docks, then I got a problem. I don't want to put it in the bin. Handle it twice and run that dryer, burn the gas, all that kind of fun stuff. I don't want to do that. I'd rather let Mother Nature dry it out as long as possible. You know, if it comes down to it, we got to get into it, we'll get in and do it. I do have a couple options. Can you sell it in the field? I can sell it straight out of the field. I mean, we can harvest it, put it straight on the truck and sell it and send it straight to the yard. And I can do that anytime right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It cuts down all of that. You don't want to handle it more than you have to. So with it contracted, and we're fairly, you know, we're an hour away from the river where the yard is, and I've got a trucker who kind of is on standby. He can run it to the yard when I'm done, and he can take it right out of the field. We put it in the cart, take it straight to the semi, and off he goes, and then wait on him to return and fill it up again. And with our small farm, you know, we're looking at 2-3 trucks of corn and probably 3 trucks of beans, and we're done. I hope it's more than that. It'd be great if it was more than that. Yeah, Oklahoma's in a bad drought for sure. Sell it in the field. The customer cuts it and is responsible. Yeah, that's not going to happen around here. The Vineyard Farmhouse. Hey, Brian. How are you? How are you? Yeah, that's not going to happen around here. We have cash rent, people that cash rent, and most times they're either going to rent your acreage by the acre, or what they call on the halves. So their responsibility is to put everything out, and you share seed cost and then share the profit. So, or a couple other ways to do it. Like we do some hay on the halves, and people need their hay cut. They need some hay, but they don't need all the hay. We'll go cut it, rake it, bale it. We keep half of the hay, they keep half of the hay. Nobody exchanges money. So then I can market the half of the hay that I have. Had to explain handling. Yeah, it does cost. Why in the parking lot tonight? Well, am I in a co-op? I am not in a co-op. We ADM, which is in Silver Grove, Ohio, down on the river. They are a marketer for us. We call them, they tell us what the current price is, and we decide whether we want to wait or we sign a contract for so many bushels at a certain price. That's how we operate. Or we just wait on the market and just send it in. So, for example, if I contract 2,000 bushels of corn at, say, $7 a bushel, then I am obligated to send them 2,000 bushels by a certain time. Now, if I send them 3,000 bushels, 2,000 bushels are at $7 a bushel, and then the rest of it is whatever the market currently is. The reason why I'm sitting here in the truck is where we were going to do our live stream from the thing that we're doing this weekend at Canal Days in Metamora. Kind of hungry for cornbread. There's zero signal whatsoever down there, so there's no way I can even do anything from there. I can't make a text or a phone call or anything, let alone a live stream. But anyway, that's kind of how everyone drop at the silos around the corner and it sells from there, right? Yeah, we don't have a co-op close by to us anymore. I do remember the days in our area where we had a co-op. We were a Landmark, and then there was Royster Clark. Landmark was our kind of area co-op, and there were enough elevators where we could take it and do that. See you, Hank. Take care, buddy. Yeah, there were enough elevators around that we could be a part of a co-op. Now with Silver Grove, ADM, and then a couple other places on the river, on the Ohio River, it's just better to market straight to them. And there's truck drivers everywhere. At one point in time, we kind of got kicked in the butt last year. The person who had been both combining, a year and a half ago or more. The person had been doing all our combining and our trucking, both. Last minute, just no, we're not doing it. And we were ready to go in the field, and so we were kind of forced into a situation. We're talking about buying a truck. I mean, I have a CDL, and you don't necessarily need it if it's for farm use. I have a Class A CDL, doubles and triples and all that kind of fun stuff. But we've got a couple friends of ours that have a trucking business, 2 different ones, and they said, we'll be more than happy to run it for you. That's not a problem. So we really don't have any major issue getting it shipped. Do you have any beans or corn off the field depth? Nope, not a thing. I was about a week and a half behind when I wanted to get it planted. I have, I don't want to say short season beans, but kind of regular season beans, and I've already ordered a shorter season bean for next year, just simply because it's been really difficult to get it out into the field because of the wet springs. A lot of the bigger guys. Look, we're 100 acres. We're not a big farm by any stretch. I mean, we are a dying breed in our area. That if you don't have 1,000 acres around us, you just don't have a farm. So a lot of those guys can afford or kind of have to get their own trucks. But we can't do that. We can't justify buying a truck for that amount. All right, Dan, you take care. Thank you so much for joining in. Uh, Next Thursday, we'll be back in the forge and rocking and rolling, and hopefully we have a great weekend. I'm going to end it here in just a little bit. We're about 45 minutes in. So again, we can't really justify buying a whole truck just for that when I can pay, and they take it out at the yard. So my buddy Levi, when he comes and loads out, he takes it straight to ADM, and ADM takes the trucking price out of my check. So I don't have to pay a trucker. I don't have to worry about another bill. It just comes out of the check. So the trucking is taken out, the marketing is taken out. All of that is done right there at the yard. It's pretty simple, really. So my job is just to harvest it and send it their way. So, we kind of got kicked in the butt last year. You can still put my dad and the farm I grew up on shame. Yeah, no. We're a family farm, small family farm. We've been at it for 120 years. Probably longer than that if we check all the records, but yeah, those guys, man, they crank it out the acres, that's for sure. Hey, Steve, how are you? So I can get in at the end again. That's right. Let me get through all this, buddy, and I'm coming to see you. I am coming to see you. Uncle Bucks. Good dude. Good dude. Smooch that like button. So anyway, really, I'm here. Solid hobby farm. Well, it's more than a hobby. We're self-sustaining. I think that's the easiest way to put it. The farm is big enough to take care of itself and make a little bit of money. Little bit. Some years it's tough. We took a hard hit last year because, again, we had to buy a combine. We ended up buying 2 combines. The one we got in an emergency got us through, and then we had to get one that was a little bit more dependable. So the bigger gleaner, the R62, is kind of our go-to combine. But I've had a hard time finding a good corn head for that combine. And I've got a corn head for the old combine, so that combine is probably just going to be just for corn, and I can use it as a backup for other stuff if I need to. We are a seed consultants all the way through. That's our brand of seed that we sell or that we grow. We do what's called enlist beans. We grow ethanol corn. It can be used for ethanol, but it can be used. The corn we grow is also a protein corn. It wouldn't be a great silage corn, but it's a kind of a multi-use corn. So you could do a silage, you could do it ethanol, you could do it grain. It could go a bunch of different ways. It's not top quality for any of those things, but that's what makes it good, is it's marketable to all of them. So it's a good option for us. Our soybeans are enlist, which means you can use basically a 2,4-D. And again, we get into that conversation about, chemicals and things like that. But yeah, it can be used as feed corn as well. The problem is, except for where John Coffee's at, the ethanol plants cropped up and then they've kind of fell apart. So the ethanol plants are still around, but they've been reduced through regulation and other things. So we were growing a lot of that corn and butter. That would be good. You wouldn't want this corn. This corn is, I've had people say they don't mind corn right out of the field. Picker and a tractor. But we've had, the only kind of combines we've had, hey, see you, the tradesman, we've only owned Gleaner combines. My dad had 2 or 3 when I was a little kid, and then our neighbor started combining for us, and then basically dropped us like a hot rock. So I went and bought a Gleaner combine. That was all I knew, so that's what I grabbed. Got a great deal on it. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, but you know, it was an older machine and needed some help. And this newer machine is bigger and kind of set up to do what we need it to do. It's a good machine. And had our area combine guy came by last week, did some great work on it, and just he went top to bottom and said, "Hey, you're good to go, man." He did a few things and fixed a few things. He said, "You're ready to rock and roll. This machine will do just fine for you for a long time to come." So he's going to come back and he's going to look at the old Gleaner so we can get the corn head on it and get it where it's reasonably dependable to run that corn. Again, we don't run that much corn. This is our first year back of running corn a decade. I mean, it's probably been close to 10 years since we've done corn, simply because the corn market price to put it out and the price to sell it, it just hadn't been that good. Yeah, they only grow corn, not the stuff in the supermarket. That's not what we're growing. But anyway, that's kind of our situation on the farm. As far as what we're doing this weekend, we'll be doing foraging demonstrations and trying to sell some of our wares, so to speak. Oh, I got you. Right on, possum sausage. I think the old machines are just great. I love the old equipment. Oh, okay, I will, John. Field corn or sweet corn? Yeah, we grow field corn. We got a patch of sweet corn just for our personal use, but that's just for the garden. Not even a quarter of an acre of sweet corn for us, just for our house. But anywho, guys, it's 53 minutes in, and I'm gonna go in and get some supper, and then head back and finish setting up for our event for the weekend, and then try to get some rest and go from there. It's going to be a fun weekend, and I am blessed to have you guys along. I can tell it's getting dark in here as well. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much. Man, you guys are such a blessing to us, and you know, be kind to your farmers. It's not an easy time of the year. There's a lot of pressure to get things done, so be kind to them. Don't get mad at them when they're hogging the road. They don't mean to. They just got business to take care of. Show them some love, and if you ate today, thank a farmer. That's one of the things we'll say. If you ate today, thank a farmer. God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend. And we will see you on the next one. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. See if I can figure out how to shut this off.